So this is the episode number 1 of S&HQ podcast.
This is episode number 2 भाई पहला वाला
that was the pilot one ना अरे
I would still count it. शुरुआत तो भाई मॉम के साथ
हाँ तो
and then second is me.
Proper guess. Mom is my like she's the partner in this company, right? So I'm with Jeet. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. So let's just get started. We are going to have this conversation.
Yeah. So my question was, I'll just start with my question. We cut this off proper.
No, it doesn't matter. You just say.
You'll keep it raw. You'll upload it
I'll
like
keep
this.
it raw. Yeah.
That makes sense. That would be, a unique
fair.
thing to
it
do.
would be fair.
Yeah. So basically, what we were talking about before we started this podcast was that why you've been on keto and why calories are out in and calories out does not matter.
Let's get keto. Back to that later.
Okay.
अभी मैंने like it can be anything in Hindi, English.
अच्छा.
So मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि when I saw you, so obviously I had this. So when I see you on Instagram, right?
Right.
So मैंने वहाँ पे देखा था you are very vascular, which you are.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But we just look like we look like brothers.
Yeah. There's not much difference.
Yeah.
That's the thing about angles and filters. I do use filters. I openly admit it. And the proper angles and proper downlights that just makes you look like a beast. But in real, I think it's like I'm just like every other dude, I guess.
Yeah. It's like obviously you are more muscular than the average, or even muscular than me. But the body fat percentage, the way you shoot things, like मैं जब भी आया, so when I came inside, you were recording this episode of जो भी ICN वाला you are doing, right?
Yeah.
You were recording that, editing that, and then post भी कर लिया. Like मैं इधर setup लगा रहा था, and you were like doing that.
Yeah, because I don't get time. I'm a full-time employee. I work, so basically, जो भी time मिलता है, I just want to do things. That's why I do iPhone. Like I want to do things which, I can record myself in like 5 minutes, and then even edit it and upload it within 10 minutes. So that's content for me right now.
Yeah, and that works. And that works.
I don't think it does like that. It works in that manner, but then I don't have any option, like you would say that. Because right now the game is pretty hard. There are people out there who are investing an hour or so in a 15 or 20-second reel. Crazy transitions. Like us sitting right here, first the chairs would be there, then there would be a paper tear. Third drop, we just drop it right into the chairs and we start a podcast. Like that's the craziest transitions that people are doing out there. Even like normal influences. So that's what I'm telling. So the game is pretty tough right now.
But here is a take. So the reason of this being very raw and there will be a lot of pauses is because I do take inspiration from Joe Rogan. So I watch a lot of his videos, the podcast, and those are long. Those are like, this won't be 3 hours, but those are long. So मैंने क्या notice किया है कि what is the trend which is happening? They are doing hyper editing, right? We call it. So a lot of transitions, as you said, and stuff.
Yeah.
I have done that. But what I'm observing, the reels which are getting much more reach are raw. Like on Instagram, this is something one of my friend who has worked with the the urban shaving company, Bombay shaving company का जो है ना, Shantanu. I might be wrong. He's the founder of the company. So this is an advice it is coming from him, that personal brand is more about the person than the brand. Right? You have to show yourself, show your raw self.
Yeah.
That is when you people will see you as you, authenticity दिखेगा, and then you get views because of your personality rather than edits. Because see, जो भी मैंने videos बनाया, और you see those videos, right? कि वहाँ पे he gives so much of knowledge और research site करता है, ये करता है, वो करता है. How do you think that is happening? Edits are.
Who?
So जो reels दिखते हैं, बहुत सारे hyper edited रहते हैं, and they are just speaking out, this research was done in 19 so and so, and in this these many people were there in the cohort, so and so forth, so and so.
No, but they are doing their own research and then they are editing it via edits.
Yeah, but again, edits app पे teleprompter भी होता है. ऐसे नहीं पता चलता कि you are when I do this अभी भी मैंने I put a video on sugar, I put a video on blood pressure and stuff. So मैंने teleprompter को देख के read किया है front camera पे and I just did that. And it seemed as so कि मैंने eye contact छोड़ा ही नहीं screen से.
अच्छा.
That is a hack. That is also there. But that does not mean that they really have that knowledge or they're just reading from a teleprompter, right? So more of authenticity comes when we are having conversations like this. Reality तब पता चलेगी जब like तुमको कौन कितने पानी में basically तब पता चलेगा.
नहीं तो मेरा तो कहना वही है कि what you said is 110% right. But the thing is you don't understand. Either you stay consistent with your personal brand, you post every day like that, or these generic transition clips, they're easy to make in backend. Like now as a working professional, I have not time. Like right now you saw me standing in front of the camera and I was able to shoot because I have time, luxury of shooting myself. Rest of the weekends, rest of the weekdays, I do not have that time. So if I had those generic clips, you see those edits like motivational edits, or just there's like cinematic mode where there's color graded clips of people, and then there's like one line, be disciplined in fitness. Like those kind of videos trend good as well. But the only problem is that, as you said, I am working on my personal brand, so I try to put out my face more often and speak more often, so that people, even if they scroll past, they know like, okay, this was the guy that I saw like in 3-4 days ago in some video. I like that sort of perception, but people recognize me by my name or either the way I speak, rather than just another guy who blew up.
But I use this hack, as I told you, the edits app which you use. I know.
Yeah.
Edit करते हुए ही देखा है मैंने.
Yeah, no, that was not edits app. That was direct Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. So edits में the teleprompter thing we use that. Like do some.
But I don't need like.
Yeah, I know that.
Like how fluent
but
I am.
I know that. But
Yeah.
it's more of like.
It's good for people who forget script or something, but me, I'm more of like
with the flow.
Yeah, with the flow.
So even.
But I have never done any scripted videos. Any video that you see on my channel where I've like come even motivational video or anything. Even right now, what I did, as you saw, it was a one take thing. Like you were doing your thing, and I just recorded it. Boom, it was good.
And this is something more of a. So you have gotten better at it, I would say, because I was recording content since 2017 से चालू किया. Like properly 2018 से मैंने. I did it till 2022, and then after that I just stopped for some reason. That is when we also connected. Yeah, we actually did not.
No, the thing about me has been that right from school, I have been a student who's been good at participating in all these vocabulary competitions. Yeah. So I've been like जैसे even competitions कोई सा भी होता था. Storytelling, citation, poem wale competition.
You were the topper.
4th, 5th, yeah, I was that person who used to win first prize, and like I loved it. Like so, I was slowly and like subtle. I was pushed into that spontaneous thing. Like, you should be spontaneous. But that's also the Independence Day. Okay, who's the class topper? Jeet. Okay, so you know what, you're gonna go give the speech. And I'm
By the way,
yeah.
ICSC, right?
ICSC.
Same.
Yeah. So who's the guy who's gonna give the speech? It's Jeet. Okay. But I don't have any script. I don't have any. People are like, we don't care. Just say. So पहले नहीं हो पाता था initially, but then.
That's a habit.
Yes, that's a habit. So yeah, ICSC. That is one thing which built that crazy foundation on today.
Generally, we think that it was like too much of a torture.
Where the buildings of this content lies.
Yeah.
Lies on that foundation.
It is more on the English, like, because we were exposed to so much of English. It's not our primary language, but again getting back to this question everyone asks you. Yeah. And I have my opinions on that.
Yeah.
Okay, the fake Natty thing.
Yeah.
Natty or not. Matlab, there is this, I don't want to take the name, but there are people who are making reels on you, Natty or not, and stuff. YouTube videos. जब मैंने जीत शर्मा सर्च किया, so मुझे दिखा कि जीत का तो वीडियो है ही नहीं.
मेरे वीडियोस है ही नहीं.
उसके Natty और not के वीडियो.
Against वाले वीडियोस है. So yeah, not even like any support videos भी नहीं है. जबकि हालांकि एक दो इन्फ्लुएंसर्स हैं जिन्होंने पॉजिटिव वीडियो बनाए पर वो नहीं दिखते. People mostly the negative. The thing is, I would rather listen that from you because I have constantly shared my blood work with you.
Yeah.
You've seen it. So what do you feel? Have you seen some like high fluctuations in testosterone or some of those parameters?
So you had you had sent me a lot of it, but I did not went through all of them. But
Yeah.
from what I have seen, and plus blood work तो बताता है. We spoke about the ketogenic diet.
Yeah.
We spoke about how you can improve your health
Yeah.
with so and so foods.
Yeah.
Because that time I think you had some issues going on with the hair and stuff.
No, that was that. Yeah, the ketogenic diet. It was. Yeah, I don't know. It was the ketogenic diet or what exactly, but that is. I'm not able to figure it even right now that I have high SGOT and SGPT. I'm not right now. I don't know. I got it tested back in ये ICN prep से पहले ही मेरे कोच को मेरे को देना था for that store. So even then the SGOT and SGPT is high. But for that I consulted here Navi Mumbai with the best hematologist out here who has got a crazy name, who does liver transplant and stuff like that. So we got tested. I spent like 30K. Did every sort of test. Last में वो CT scan जैसा एक test होता है liver fibroscan. So we did a fibroscan as well. And turns out that liver is 100% healthy. So he says that the SGOT and SGPT is coming from high intense workouts.
Okay.
So even muscles release SGOT and SGPT. It can come from liver, it comes from muscles, it comes from your brain. So he's saying that you stop the workout for a week or so and we can see it. But then
it would be just be the intensity.
But then it is hard for me to like stop workout. So I've let it go. Like liver is good. I don't care.
Have some liver instead.
Yeah. So basically that was the thing. But yeah, the whole natty or not thing that you asked me, 100% natural. I've mentioned it in my bio
Because
as well.
when I look at you,
Yeah.
now you are 30, right?
Yeah, I'm 30.
And you have been working out since more than
10 plus
7
years.
Yeah,
10 plus years. This June I'll be completing 11th year.
So I have been very inconsistent with my workouts.
Yeah.
Still, I have been like, if I strip away the body fat.
You look bigger than me, bro. That's one thing that I would say.
Like in terms of frame, I know.
In terms of frame, yes.
But,
yes.
but
Like you know, we both covered. You look bigger than me.
Yeah. Because of the height.
But this what you said has happened to me many times even in expose. So मैं expose जाता हूँ ऐसे पे expo वगैरह and like I remember 2-3 dudes ऐसा लगातार हुआ and like the bro comes in and like taller than me. Of course, yeah. He's like नहीं he knows I'm Jeet Sharma. But then he looks and he's like, bro, लोग फालतू में steroid वगैरह बोलते रहते हैं. You don't even look like this is you. Then you don't look like you're on steroid. So if you watch me in real, like you will come to know कि
I have seen people.
Yeah, it's like 76 kg, 77 kgs lean is not that big of a thing. I'm not 86 kgs lean,
Right.
90 kgs lean.
You are just.
So basically I've said lifetime natural, never touched SARMs, peptides, any sort of peptide also. I've not touched any peptides, no SARMs, no steroids, no nothing, like small GH वगैरह कुछ भी नहीं. And मैंने तो एक वो हनुमान जी के साथ वीडियो बनाया था, people made fun of me कि like bro झूठी कैसे बना रहा है. But the thing is that I have stayed natural for all my life and there's nothing to lie about that. Because if I would have taken, I would have told people यार कुछ नहीं होता ऐसा बोलने में. एक बार किसी को कि यार मैं जिम गया था तो मेरे ट्रेनर ने मुझे कुछ गोलियां पकड़ा दी थी कि ये ले लो बॉडी बन जाएगी. And I did not know, but after that it turned out Dynabol. You can always come up with stories like that. If something happens
मेरे खाने में कुछ मिला
you want to
मेरे supplement मेरे whey protein में कुछ मिला.
नहीं, that is if you're caught in that test or dope test. But अभी तक भगवान की कृपा से कभी ऐसा नहीं हुआ कि dope में मेरा कुछ भी आया. Dope is always
polygraph is a different story.
Polygraph is a different story altogether. But that is
the thing which I think I put a comment or something. So many video you had asked me to make a video, but I did not नहीं बनाया. But my take on polygraph test is like number one thing, like I might not get the facts right now because मैंने उस पर research किया था क्या रहता है.
Yeah, you sent me the whole conversation. Yeah.
So the thing is that you are at a lower body fat percentage when your heart is not beating the way it is in a very healthy and fed state and stuff. You are so deprived of nutrients. So after that, and the full crux of the test is based on your heart rate, your sweat, and all the things like the vitals which you measure. So उसपे obviously you're not going to get a right. So crux of the matter is कि वो test in जिस context में use किया गया वो नहीं करना चाहिए था. And still they are using it.
No. But see, the thing is, it was a defense-like mechanism. ताकि फेक नैटीज जो झूठ बोल के आ रहे हैं अंदर उनको रोका जा सके. सो बट द थिंग इज वो पहला टाइम था फेडरेशन का इंडिया में. दे वांटेड समवन कि मतलब एक ऐसा हो जाए कि यार इसको हमने बाहर निकाला तो बाकी लोगों के दिमाग में डर बैठ जाए. एंड अनफॉर्चुनेटली दैट गाय वाज मी एंड आई गेट इट. बट डोंट डू समथिंग लाइक दैट. ऐसा मतलब सी डॉक्टर वेगास, दैट्स सरदार जी गाय. सो ही एडमिटेड क्लेम यूज लाइक उसका आया था पहले किया था तो वो वीडियो वायरल हुआ था. तो वो थोड़ा उस टाइम पे ना वो ट्रेंड भी वैसा चल रहा था कि people are being fake, people are lying.
आग
So
में
yeah, तो
घी डाल
basically ये सारी चीजें चल रही थी. But I think ICN still had the balls. He competed in ICN कि उसको 12-14 दिन पहले notice भेज दिया कि due to your controversy or let's say you did not admit it and later it was found we have taken you out. So they did not allow him to compete in the Goa show.
Yeah, because
so
they are more about
same thing could be no they don't need 5 years drug free. So he was 5 years drug free. But ठीक है मेरा कहना है यहाँ पे भी they could have done that कि a lot of videos are made on you Natty or not. So we do not want you to be part of this competition since this is our first time in India.
मतलब आने दिया.
So but like they are like नहीं come
वही
pay us the money. We'll do what we want you to do.
Extra test भी करा.
Yeah, कुछ नहीं आ रहा था as you said. Like I went first कुछ नहीं आया. पहली बार में so they are like videos they said like videos so but like thankfully as you are a good guy that I'm in contact with I had one guy and like I would give shout out to him MK Fitness I think that's the guy he's a science based lifting who he supports so I talked to him after this everything happened he's like bro I came to know that you got out in polygraph and I'm like yeah man so he's like what did they say that's what I told him they said they said you took weed and then clean use में बाहर निकाल दिया. So he's like, why don't you get the weed tested? I'm like, yeah, you're right. So he said कि अगर उन्होंने कल बोला है, so you know, weed like if it was so strong, it takes 3 to 4 days. Like you know, it would be there in your urine. Do it. So I went to Metropolis lab. Thankfully, it was nearby. Same day I got tested, and of course, it was way below. It was the cannabis marijuana को trace भी नहीं था. It was negligible because I know I did not take it. There were participants there. As a Pranav is a good guy यहाँ पे. He has won ICN also. He lives in Mumbai only. He was there. If any athlete can come and say कि यार ये बंदा मेरे को वीड पे लग रहा था. We had a conversation.
लग रहा था मतलब क्या होता है?
मतलब
I know the story.
That's what they said. No, that's what they said कि you look like
मुझे लग रहा है because मैं ज़्यादा गांजा फूकता हूँ तो मुझे लग रहा है देख के कि हाँ
वो तो है because that guy was from Canada. The president was from Canada. So basically उनके यहाँ तो चलता है ना ये सारी चीजें.
हाँ.
तो that's why. But इसको ये नहीं पता कि हाँ it's not that easy to come across.
पहले तो so I will admit it on camera like मैंने had used marijuana.
Okay.
But obviously not now. It was a year. 2 साल पहले मैंने यूज किया था and I have been like मैं बात करते टाइम भी मुझे like I am very conscious about when I'm talking about that. My parents know it. And I got out of
you
it.
You admitted it to me also.
Yeah,
like we had a video call once and you were like, bro, of course.
So
like,
I know कितना पापड़ बेलना पड़ता है just to get a package.
Yeah.
And like it's such a close call कि हाँ अगर पुलिस वाले आगे या I have been there.
It happens.
And that is the reason I did not want to go there because US में Canada में रहेगा legal but यहाँ पे तो नहीं है ना क्यों फुकट में like regardless what your stance is on that.
So they came up with this strategy कि मतलब you know how they actually did not want me like पहली बार they took me out कि पहली बार कुछ नहीं आया था like my polygraph is done nothing came everything good they're like no but we don't take it because you're on weed come pay after tomorrow so what they expected is that I would not show up. Kind of like that. He would back off like कि अभी ऐसे डर जाएगा. But then I was like, if I've not done anything wrong, I'll come up again. Let's do it. So you know that was the thing. But yeah, it screwed me mentally and physically because I'll be honest. Yeah, I just wanted to win this competition and then you know get away with marrying and everything because like we just talked about you know you're 30. Yeah. So I just wanted and honestly I wanted to get settled. I wanted to retire and like you know because natural bodybuilding is not that healthy. Deficit, low carb. So I wanted to like do proper bulk up and have kids, have family, have wife. But then now that plan has postponed. Yes, sir. It has postponed, and hopefully I'll be competing in one more show because I just want to see that peak. क्या हुआ ना? Like I have a lot of videos. People see these videos like you know अभी जैसे ripped videos हैं. You've seen this video.
It's different on the stage.
It's different on stage. I saw myself peak in this mirror.
Right.
Because I was eating crazy eating क्योंकि you know after this thing happened it was causing a lot of anxiety. I was eating and my physique peaked right in front of me in the mirror and I knew that I would not be able to step on stage. That's the worst place an athlete can ever be. To see his physique peak in mirror or in shower and know that all this effort, 6 months of effort that he's put, he's just seeing himself शीशे के सामने पीक करते हुए और उसे पता है कि अब वो स्टेज पे आने वाला नहीं तो बहुत बुरा फीलिंग होता है.
So the main thing about all this is that when you are on a bodybuilding competition, like stage play, it's not easy because being a natural, तो मैं forget it if you're natural or not. Even if you're enhanced, you have to deplete
yourself.
So a simple example, a bodybuilder, so a power lifter is at his strongest on the stage.
Yeah.
But a bodybuilder is at his weakest on the stage.
I'm amazed you know so much about, like, especially because you have not competed, with all due respect.
That
but
is
then
because of
you're using all the right sort of words here. Depleted, weakest. You're right. I was at 69 kgs. Like when I started working out, I was 59 kg lean. Like I was wo handi sa hota na, that was 59
Yeah, I've
kgs.
seen that.
And I was 69 kgs at the end of my prep. Which also says that 10, 11 years of hard work, I've only gained like 8, 9 kgs of muscle mass. That's it. That's how the process of natural bodybuilding is.
And the reason that I know more about bodybuilding is because of Kezad sir. I have been to a lot of his lectures. So, like his lectures used to be 10 hours. So, मैंने ऐसे 3-4 lectures बैठा हूँ मैं.
10
So,
hours?
Yeah. It
Single
started.
sitting?
Yeah, started in the morning, 10 बजे, and supposed to be over at 10 p.m. बीच में हमको break मिलता था. We can have coffee. We would bring our tiffins.
But only one person would take all these lectures?
Yeah, him. And
okay,
I'll get back to this.
I've
If
never seen a professor like that.
So that's the power. Like that's the power of correct nutrition, or you could say ketogenic lifestyle. So he obviously followed that lifestyle.
Ketogenic lifestyle.
Yeah. So the things which I know.
Yeah.
Mutton khate the, dal roast, and mostly meat. And then he used to have coffee. So obviously the 10-hour lecture, he used to have caffeine to get himself going without sugar. He might have stevia in that or something like that. Also he used to have whey protein. I know that because मैंने पिया है उनके साथ बैठ के whey protein and stuff. So he used to be there giving a lecture for 10 hours plus because 10 बजे खत्म होना चाहिए था. अभी माइक दे ही नहीं रहे हो, लाइक उनका असिस्टेंट खड़ा है कि सर हो गया टाइम. It used to go on for more 1 or 2 hours. So हम 12 बजे निकलते थे जो lecture room में से. I know this because I have not done this like once. I have done this 4 times. So that time तो हम लोग like first lecture में जब बैठा था, I was dead, like मुझे भूख लग रहा है. And obviously the lecture was on the ketogenic. For you it is keto. We call it correct nutrition. More of fats, proteins, restrict carbohydrates. Then मैंने
restricted carbohydrates, I think it's 0 carbohydrates.
Yeah, obviously meat खा रहे हो तो 0 है, but you can restrict till 50 grams चल जाता है. So मैंने first lecture में मेरी हालत tight थी, and the next lecture was supposed to happen next month. So what I did, I went on to the approach. I started eating this way. Next lecture मुझे कुछ problem नहीं हुआ. इसके लिए मैं 4 lecture ऐसे बैठ पाया ना सर पे. नहीं तो and for you because you don't know, right? हम लोग बैठे हो lectures में. And that is why we have the conviction that okay, this is the right kind of approach. Because this is not just for the body composition, but it is also good for health. We can talk about it if you want.
I don't think it's good for health, to be honest. It's
So-
because I have been a practitioner of keto myself. You don't know this, but like my keto diet.
What is your keto diet?
Posts like my reels based on ketogenic diets have blown up to, I guess, 6 lakh, 7 lakh easily. Only just showing the meal of
Right.
ketogenic. Yeah, that one reel has blown up like 6, 7 lakh, 40,000 people liking it. And people look up to me because I am very shredded. You saw, like, I also put that clip into the
Yeah.
reel section. So, but the thing is,
The yellow tank top.
yeah, the yellow tank top, and I take it off like this. So, but the problem is, I think it's not healthy in long term. These are all short form diet. If your diet has a name, I think it should be done
Yeah,
only
so-
for a short interval. And
So-
I believe that. I believe that.
What do you exactly eat on a keto diet? For तुमने क्या खाया?
See, I'll tell you this. I know what you're saying. I know what this is leading to. Where this is leading to, you'll say that we should not be having more of monosaturated fats. We should be having good fats kind of, and like more protein. Like I'll just talk about what I had. I had avocados, non-vegetarian meats, of course, and meats only chicken, fish, and I did have walnuts because I love walnuts, and dark chocolate. Yeah.
Don't
And
have eggs.
whey में milk cream.
So when you talk about keto, it is not a high protein diet. So जो भी तुमने बोला अभी, so when you have chicken,
Yeah.
mostly you might have chicken breast, right?
Yeah.
Chicken breast is a very lean source of protein.
Yeah.
फिर avocados is fat is there.
Yeah.
But again, you have to add fat in your diet.
Okay.
So when I did that,
No, but you had whole eggs, no, with chicken. That
so
that
I
is
had
good.
whole
That is
eggs
done, right?
with chicken right
Yeah.
now, which I'm having.
No, that's what my typical ketogenic meal looked like. It looked like 2 whole eggs plus chicken breast with salad.
Yeah. So my looked like it was. I did not count calories. So I did eat. So there is a beautiful thing which happens on a ketogenic or ketotic state, you might call.
Ketogenic state.
Ketotic we call ketotic भी बोलते हैं या फिर
अच्छा.
ketosis it's called, but the diet is called ketogenic.
Yeah.
But what the goal should be to be in a ketosis state. What happens in that state is that you use more of your fat, dietary fat, also your body fat for energy, and you do not waste or the efficiency of the ketone usage is more at the muscle. So it's called a metabolic advantage. It's the term which is being coined. मतलब फैट खा रहे हो तो फैट ज़्यादा बर्न होगा, और अगर कार्ब्स खा रहे हो तो फैट गेन होगा because of the de novo lipogenesis and all the things which you can go with it. But when I talk about having more fat,
Yeah.
I talk about cooking all the meats. Mostly I would like to have red meat, preferably. Cook it in the animal fat or ghee mein, and then also add some ghee on top if I want, if I feel like it. It's more about, it might seem to be feel like it kya hota hai, but when I talk about the feel, I am talking about the hormones which is leptin and ghrelin. So जो hunger hormones रहते हैं, so जब हम carbs ज़्यादा खाते हैं, there is something called as leptin resistance which start to happen. So जब भी carbs ज़्यादा होता है, इंसुलिन ऊपर जाता है, and it also causes leptin to become resistant, and भूख पेट कभी भरा हो समझ नहीं आता. That's why we say कि मैंने हाई कार्ब डाइट खाया, कुछ भी खाया, उसके बाद भी स्वीट्स के लिए पेट में जगह बचती है. That is leptin resistance at a very you know
See,
practical way.
my whole point is basically that I should actually be holding it like this closer to the So my whole point is basically, look, what I would say is, you're right. I have done it myself, but that's what I'm telling you. You do it. There's the right way of doing a ketogenic diet as well, like how you mentioned.
Yeah.
But for most people out there,
Because they don't know.
yeah, what they think is, okay, you know what? Because I'll give you an example of myself. Like, let's not talk about other people. Like myself, when I was in ketogenic, I remember I used to sit right here and I used to have that Amul fat spread. Right? At the end of the day, you can have that, right? But I don't think how much healthy that is, because I used to empty an entire packet, and it's processed and it's got palm oil, it's got all that other stuff.
Palm oil.
Yeah, I think it does, yeah.
So
fat spread does have palm
when
oil.
I talk about butter, I talk about butter.
Yeah.
So again, so this
But
is
how
this,
much? See, that is what it comes down to.
So when I talk about when I talk about fat, let's just I'll give you a bit of context.
Yeah.
About fat. So there are 3 kinds of fats.
Yeah.
One is the saturated kind, and the other both of them are unsaturated.
Yeah.
So unsaturated में 2 type के होते हैं. There is something called as polyunsaturated, and there is something monounsaturated. MUFA and PUFA.
Yeah.
So MUFA PUFA में क्या रहता है ना? Those are heat unstable. There is something called as I just read about that. There is a oxidative. So whenever you heat that oil,
Yeah.
so what happens is that oxidation of those oils
Yeah.
accelerates.
Yeah.
So उससे जो oxidative stress लाने वाले जो species रहते हैं, reactive oxygen species and वो सारी चीजें, all the bad stuff starts to happen. And when you talk about saturated fat, the smoking point, and there is one more point which is like where this its term मुझे याद नहीं आ रहा है, but that is where the fat starts to destroy and go rancid.
Yeah.
So the point of the fat becoming rancid and खराब, chemically वो खराब हो जाता है, of saturated fat is much higher than the unsaturated fat. So that's why when you have saturated fat, it's more heat stable for cooking, and also is much more healthier because it is not going bad. उससे जो भी reactive oxygen species और जो भी oxidative stress देने वाले by products आते हैं, वो सब नहीं होते. So that's why whenever you are going to have fat on a ketogenic, low carb, fatty protein, carnivore, or this or that, whatever you call it, you have to have saturated fat. Even right now, the American food pyramid reverse हो गया, वो जो उल्टा हो गया, उसमें भी लोग saturated fat ही बोल रहे हैं. So when you are going to have palm oil, which is polyunsaturated fats.
Yes.
Then you're going to have even olive oil is not good for cooking because heat में वो खराब हो जाता है, it goes rancid. क्योंकि उसमें monounsaturated fat ज़्यादा रहता है. And then groundnuts, seed oils like vegetable oil, sunflower oil. When you have that, that is when you are doing it wrong. The keto or whatever you call it, you are doing it wrong. So the things you stick to is butter, ghee, coconut oil, animal fat. 4 things. So yeah, you are now in my world in that sense. Now you know that what kind of fats to eat because fat spread के पीछे क्या लिखा है क्या पता, because it's fat spread, it's not butter.
Yes. So that's what I'm telling you, that it is very hard not to go rogue on a ketogenic diet, and that is why you said it. But then what I feel is for the general population, even being in a calorie deficit with a well-balanced nutrition, because we're Indians at the end of the day, I think having rice and maybe rotis, that just makes us crave less of the outside food. Let's just, because thing is, let's be honest, unless
So
you're a
the
competitor, what's
protein-
really the motive for you to stick to your diet, right? Because now you're a coach, you're on a ketogenic diet, and I totally get it. I'm an athlete, I'm on a low carb diet, I'm near to my prep. I get it, but I'm talking about a layman who does not have anything to do. Like he does not have any goal as such in his mind that he has to compete or he has to be a coach where he needs to look fit to train other people to get fit. So for him, I think the layman, how we make in calories out, being in a calorie deficit, having a balanced meal where you can eat rice. Yes, you can have your dal and you can have your meat if you want. If you're a vegetarian, skip that. You can have your tofu, low fat paneer. You can have all these things in your diet as long as you're in a calorie deficit. You can eat whatever you want. So I think that works. So I am just telling you this. I was a great fan of ketogenic diet. For people who have followed me on my Instagram journey, they know that how much I've adored the ketogenic diet and then fasting. This is what I've conveyed to get ripped, get lean because it's good. Carbs, actually, less carbs just make you more drier. So you look more drier, your body fat reduces. It gives you that crazy look which I have seen. But since I've done a traditional prep, I've realized if you really want to gain muscles also, and if you really want to feel the pump in gym also, you do need carbs. Pre and post training.
So with carbs, I will give you that pump is better, but when you are fat adapted, you can get the pump again because of consumption of more fat. So here is something. Let's say you are a general population जो मेरे पास आता है. So मेरे पास जितने भी लोग आते हैं, I do fat loss diets. So most of them are metabolically sick, unhealthy है, blood work उनका बहुत खराब हो चुका है.
Right.
They are fat visibly and they are addicted to sugar. So my number one step is to remove the sugar. And when I talk about sugar, I also talk about carbohydrates because carbohydrates digest to glucose बनने वाला है.
I remember. I agree with that.
Yeah. So my approach is to first cut all the processed grains which they are having because let me be honest, when I've spoken to all these clients, ये लोग जंक फूड नहीं खाते, ये लोग घर का ही खाना खाते, बट उनको दे आर सो डाउन द हिल, their leptin is not responding at all, तो उसकी वजह से वो ग्रेन्स पे ही वो ओवर ईट कर जाते हैं. So when I cut grains, what I do is I introduce more protein, not lean protein, fatty protein, which is your eggs, your chicken thighs हो गया, red meat हो गया, cheese हो गया, cheese, paneer. And then even sprouts is not a source of protein, complete source of protein, but again sprouts
We
which
can
are
make it complete, yes.
yeah,
With
you can
breads,
make it.
maybe with brown bread,
supplementation
yes,
of
yes.
other foods, right?
Yes.
You can do that. And also when you talk about soy, again there are people who might react to it, but you can give it, no problem. So vegetarians को my safe options are paneer, cheese, and mostly tempeh मैं बोलता हूँ. So ये 3 options हैं. And इसमें कैसे you have to be more creative in terms of how you like. Let's just say you are a client. मैं आपको बोलता हूँ आपको ब्रेकफास्ट में पनीर भुर्जी खाना है, दोपहर को बटर पनीर खाओ और शाम को पालक पनीर खाओ. Won't you like it? उसके साथ you can have a jawar roti. You are eliminating.
Makes sense, but like a lot of us people would not eat 3 times paneer. That's a little heavy on the system.
Yeah, so you can just switch to sprouts. You can have more cheese in that. So again, this is something which takes time to adapt to, and people who want to transform themselves take that investment as a for a week or two, and after that they are good because their body adapts. Obviously, if you're not able to, your digestive system is meant to digest things like meat or whatever you call heavy, जिसमें fat and protein हो. I'm not talking about meat, but पनीर भी, right? Vegetarians तो meat खाते नहीं, but पनीर तो खाते हैं. But because of eating something like rice, something like roti, and a lot of very light foods, उनका digestive system starts to lose that. So there is this law, like I forgot the law name, but if you don't use it, you lose it. So you lose the capacity to digest the food. जो gastric enzymes है, digestive juices है, वो level पे produce ही नहीं होते. इसके लिए उनको problems होते हैं like acidity, indigestion. Because when they have this paneer after long time, body digest ही नहीं कर पा रही है, तो issues तो होंगे. That is the thing which you work on. That is worked on by using fasting as a tool and slowly introducing fats. And when you eat more of fat, I said you tap into your body fat जो उनके पास abundance में है. तो mostly जो clients है वो fast करना चालू करते हैं ज़्यादा. And जब भी खाते हैं, जब भी भूख लगता है, because if I ask them कि नहीं खाना है ये टाइम पे, खाना है ये टाइम पे, क्या होगा कि they will tired हो जाएंगे, किनारे कितना खाओगे मैं.
No, but to tap into that body fat which you said right now, which even you've got a couple of body fat, which I think is you have to tap more into non-vegetarian sources of animal fat because that works better. Yeah, I get it. What you said right now, I totally agree. Again, you kind of like condition your body to use animal body fat, and that's how it's using that via what you eat. Also via what you have in your body. Even but I don't think if that works on the vegetarian protocol as well.
So on vegetarian it too. So I have clients on whom it works, but it takes more time. It takes more of conditioning because उनको एक mental conditioning हो गया है कि ना मुझे मखाना खाना है, मुझे स्नैक करना है. स्नैक करेंगे तो क्या करेंगे? पीनट्स पे स्नैक करेंगे. अगेन पीनट्स में भी कार्ब्स है, फैट है, but peanuts में भी कार्ब है.
Peanuts is like shit.
Yeah, once you start snacking खाते ही जाते हो. So switch that from peanuts to cheese cube, right? Cheese cube पे snack कर सकते हो. Cheddar cheese लो. If you want to go organic and stuff, go there. Do the best. But
so I totally understand what you were trying to say here. I think that's what there's this one influencer which I follow, Ekansh Taneja or whatever.
Yeah.
He also promotes this that he's always he comes in front of the camera and he's always like कि भाई तू सोच रहा है कि तू मतलब calories in calories out, वो तो ये फंडा ही हटा देता है, कहते ये मैटर ही नहीं करता है.
I'll tell you why. I made a video on that. So I just so there is a video which I can share you afterwards. WhatsApp पे share करता हूँ.
Yeah.
हम लोग link भी कर देंगे. So there is this research which was done by Dr. Benjamin Bickman. So what he discovered is that जब भी आप कीटोसिस में होते हो, फैट बर्न करते हो, तो मैंने ये चीज़ पहले बोला कि एट योर बॉडी फैट लाइक योर एडिपोज टिश्यू जो भी है वहाँ पे जो भी फैट है, कीटोन्स है, वो वेस्टिंग होना चालू हो जाता है. मतलब यू आर बर्निंग मोर फैट. और ऑन द मसल इट्स मोर ऑफ अ एफिशिएंट. तो वहाँ पे एक्स्ट्रा वेस्ट नहीं करता. इट इज मोर एफिशिएंट एनर्जी बट एट द फैट. अभी वाई मेरा कन्विक्शन इस पर बैठ गया क्योंकि मैंने जब बॉडी कंपोजिशन एनालाइजर है मेरे पास ऑफिस में मेरे, सो मैंने 23 डेज के अंतर में किया मैंने. So I lost 4 kgs of fat because I was doing fasting. I was eating more of ketogenic, you might call it. So I was doing that, and 4 kgs of fat.
Yeah. But basically, you were practicing calorie deficit. It was an elimination diet.
So again, when I talk about that, I'll reframe it again. So caloric deficit है, it by default happens when you are on this approach. Why? Because at the level of mitochondria, adipose tissue में, the mitochondria is wasting energy. Its expenditure of energy is more, right, at the adipose. तो इसकी वजह से आप थोड़ा ज़्यादा बटर भी खा लेते हो. So there is a wiggle room कि आपको अगर आप थोड़ा कैलोरीज बाहर चलाएगा.
Expenditure of energy is more in the adipose tissues versus expenditure of energy in muscles.
Right. And
but I do not agree with that, honestly.
That is a research which has happened.
No, bro. But like the thing is, ki when it comes to building muscles, it only takes like 13 calories. There's a research. While 1k, like let's say 100 grams of maybe muscle takes like 13 calories, while 100 grams of fats takes way more calories than that.
Was that done on a group of people who are on a ketogenic
I will
diet?
have to go and check.
So this study is specific for the people who are on a who are in the state of ketosis. In the state of ketosis, it is very exclusive to that because अगर तुम दाल चावल खा रहे हो, तुम्हारे में ऐसा नहीं होने वाला, right? But if I am doing that, it is accelerating the fat burning. That means I am मैं expenditure कर रहा हूँ more of calories. So I have a wiggle room. And the one thing about fat is that until you are drinking up like भाग मिल्खा भाग में ऐसे वो घी पी जाता है. Until you are doing that, you cannot overeat fat because it is more.
So that was my whole point. At the end of the day, it's about calorie deficit.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I honestly, if you
But
argue
again-
with me, like I place a person besides you who is having, let's say, who is able to eat, let's say, 1 kg of meat, who's able to eat, he will definitely be gaining weight even on a ketogenic diet.
Again, if you measure करोगे और उसको दोगे, let's say we think about कि जो मैंने अभी बताया कि कैलोरी एक्सपेंडिचर ज़्यादा होता है ऑन कीटोजेनिक जस्ट बाय सिटिंग बिकॉज द फैट सेल इज बर्निंग मोर. चलो वो इक्वेशन में नहीं लिया, बट द फैक्ट ऑफ द मैटर इज दैट if you are on a ketogenic or a low carb approach, you won't be able to overeat stuff until you are having liquid calories. If you are eating whole foods, if you are even adding butter, it satiates, तो पेट भर जाता है. And again, I will shake your hand on the fact that calories in, calories out is the fact of the matter.
Yes.
But again, when you talk about, see, मेरे पास मैं कैलोरीज काउंट कर सकता हूँ क्योंकि मुझे उसके बारे में नॉलेज है, मेरे पास रिसोर्सेज हैं. इसको नॉलेज ही नहीं रहेगा, उसको पता ही नहीं कि फैट में कितना कैलोरी है, इसमें कितना है, उसमें कितना है. सो ही वोंट हैव द टाइम एंड टू एक्सप्लेन देम दिस फैक्ट. दे डोंट. सो पीपल हु वी कोच आर नॉट लाइक फिटनेस geeks. They are more into their work. बैंकर्स है, ये है वो है, IT में है, तो उनके पास टाइम नहीं रहता. So you have to give them an approach. This approach works with the clients because they don't have to count calories. They don't have to go with the hassle because they eat according to their hunger and they don't eat when they are not hungry.
So that's my whole point. I think even right now you mentioned that research, but I'm a big believer it is, and even the ketogenic diet is about calories in, calories out. It is an elimination diet where you have taken out all, because let's be honest, it's easy. All the processed cakes out there, all the processed donuts out there, all the tastiest food out there is carbs. You would hardly find a food that is of fats and good protein.
I'll खिलाता हूँ.
Acha, okay, tell me about that. Like, let's go on a street, let's go. Like,
on
how
the
can
street you won't get it. मेरे घर में मिलेगा.
How many? That's what I'm telling you. How many people in Mumbai
So the fact
eat in streets?
The fact
A lot of
is
them.
that because of the industry, food industry, whatever had happened like 40-50 years ago, so US का press conference, if you see about the new food guidelines, they have admitted that they conditioned the people to eat more carbohydrates, less fat, and they told that saturated fat.
So the thing about the US, since you mentioned it second time in this podcast, and I would like to correct you on that, is see, it also has some downsides, like one being the person, the health minister of them, who did, like, I guess he did a lot of pull-ups at the airport. He said alcohol, they have counted it in terms of the healthy food. They've said it, and I'm quoting his exact word, that alcohol is a social lubricant. So they have counted in a good food, which I do not
No,
agree.
it is a social lubricant.
Yeah.
So it is a completely different thing.
Not in terms of,
So
but why praise something like that?
That I can't tell.
So and
This is opinion.
yeah, and also I'll tell you this. They have placed a lot of meat at the top,
Yeah.
right? You know that, right? And when you actually study the people who have actually done these guidelines, okay, you also mentioned it. They also are part of the big ground beef and meat industry as well. So somewhere, कहते हैं ना, this could be absolutely bullshit, but I'm telling you, तार जो है ना वो जुड़े हुए हैं.
So there is obviously
For Indians, for us
there are
Indians,
lobbies.
we cannot have so much of meat. We don't have so much of meat. I'll be honest with you, half our population seems vegetarian to me. Almost every other friend that I know, even if they are non-vegetarian, let's
Because
say by family, they have opted out.
You stay in an environment where there are more of.
Okay, let's be honest. Okay, count any 5 name of yours and tell me कि how many of them are
अभी
non-vegetarian.
मेरे friends सब मराठी है, so
Oh.
everyone eats non-veg.
They
Now the fact of the matter is when you talk about a Indian non-vegetarian, मैं एक चीज क्लियर करता हूँ, जो non-vegetarian लोग हैं ना वो non-vegetarian नहीं है, वो वेजिटेरियन ही है. क्यों पता है? बिकॉज जब वो चिकन खाते हैं, मटन खाते हैं, तो इतना प्लेट रहता है, उसमें 2 पीस चिकन का रहता है और वो रोटी लेते हैं और ऐसे लगाते हैं और खाते हैं, छोटा सा पीस लेके खाते हैं. सो द थिंग इज दे आर गेटिंग अनहेल्दी एंड सिक. इट इज नॉट बिकॉज ऑफ द मीट, इट इज बिकॉज ऑफ सो मच ऑफ लाइक वो मीट खाते ही नहीं, वो क्या करते हैं, कार्ब्स ही कार्ब्स खाते हैं, विच इज होल ग्रेन्स, प्रोसेस्ड ग्रेन्स. Again, roti is also
नाम का meat है वो basically. You're
नाम
right.
का meat.
You're right. You go to a restaurant and you order, let's say, a
No one
pizza
orders
restaurant,
steak.
yeah, chicken, huh?
no one orders
No,
steak.
yeah, you
Even
order
chicken steak.
you order chicken handi, you will get like 2 pieces of chicken, and then the handi rest is like वो जो gravy है, it's got besan in it, it's got
So-
all the oils in it, and people are thinking that. So anyways, see, we can talk about
so
that
the
for hours.
fact of the matter is कि ना chicken meat is not bad, but the thing is most of the vegetarians are unhealthy because they are eating so much of processed grains. Grains is a food group which is not that good for them right now because उससे insulin resistance बढ़ रहा है, blood sugar levels ऊपर जाते हैं. And the thing about blood sugar levels, diabetes जब भी pre-diabetes जब भी diagnose होता है, we do it with the help of something called as HbA1c, वो एक test होता है. But you have to actually test for your fasting insulin. जब भी आपका fasting, so there is, if I just put a graph, okay, so मेरा ऐसा line जा रहा है, okay, so this is the carb, sugar ऊपर spike हो रहा है, but उसको normalize करने के लिए insulin इतना ऊपर जाता है. That shows you, and there are studies done on that, that shows you that जो diabetes है वो तभी डायग्नोज नहीं हो रहा है जब भी वो प्रॉब्लम कर रहे हैं, जब भी वो पैनक्रियाज रिएक्ट नहीं कर पा रहा है, उसको हेल्प नहीं कर पा रहा है बॉडी को इंसुलिन प्रोड्यूस करके, गिव अप कर रहा है, तभी वी से ओके दिस गाय इज अ डायबिटिक. एंड दैट इज व्हाट हैज हैपेंड. सो टू सॉल्व दिस metabolic disorder, we are not talking of right now, I'm not talking about how you look. How you look again comes when you know you are healthy first. Once you are healthy, to get to health you have to restrict carbohydrates, and that does not mean कि 50 ग्राम कार्ब्स खाओ, 120 ग्राम कार्ब्स खा के भी तुम हेल्दी रह सकते हो.
You can be healthy.
So my
You can be healthy if you have, let's say, Oreos and like shit food also. You can be healthy.
So again I would debate with that. You can be healthy short term.
You can't debate with me on that.
So you have done it, right?
No, it's not me, but
There is a person
over there. Yes,
who-
named I guess Donald or
Yeah,
some
then
stuff.
he talks about calories.
Yeah, so he has had Oreos and that was his diet. So 2,500 was his maintenance, and he ate I guess around 2,000, and then he did lose 9 pounds in over 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Also, as you said, his health markers also were like
He did not mention fasting insulin.
on positive trend. He did not mention fasting. But how does that matter if
So-
your bad cholesterol is down, your good cholesterol is up,
again, yes.
HDL is good, right? All those parameters are good. I think it makes sense. So basically, a calorie deficit makes people healthy rather than you saying that
So
cutting off carbs
see,
makes
the thing
people
is, the
healthy.
fact is that caloric deficit will help you lose weight. Now when we talk about the cholesterol, again, the cholesterol, when you talk about cholesterol, it is the most healing compound in your body. It is there, the cell wall, your cell membrane, and your myelin sheath, everything. Your brain is made out of cholesterol. It is 60% fat and cholesterol. So everything is made out of cholesterol essentially. Now when you talk about LDL, HDL, so अभी मैंने तो इसके बारे में सीखा है, इसके लिए मैं बोल रहा हूँ. So LDL, HDL का फुल फॉर्म होता है, LDL का फुल फॉर्म होता है लो डेंसिटी लाइपोप्रोटीन. So it's not a cholesterol, it's a lipoprotein. Lipoprotein का मीनिंग है कि it's a shell, it's a boat, submarine you could say, made out of protein. It's a protein which dissolves in blood. Blood is water. So when you see cholesterol and fats, ये जो compounds है वो हाइड्रोफोबिक रहते हैं, मतलब वो पानी में नहीं मिक्स होते. Blood is more than half it is water. So वो blood में नहीं मिक्स होते. That's why they have to be taken from a submarine which is made out of protein, then they mix. So essentially when the doctors talk about, or whoever talks about cholesterol and LDL is bad, HDL is good. So whenever liver में से there is something called as VLDL, very low density lipoprotein. तो इसमें लिवर ट्राइग्लिसराइड्स और कोलेस्ट्रॉल डालता है. ट्राइग्लिसराइड्स भी जब भी बढ़ते हैं, so the main factor in your lipids is the triglycerides. Why? Because triglycerides is formed via de novo lipogenesis. तो जो कार्ब्स ज़्यादा खाते हैं, एक्सेस खाते हैं, तो उसमें वो फैट में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है इन द लिवर. एंड देन दिस ट्राइग्लिसराइड इज देन, इवन द नॉर्मल फूड वाला भी होता है, बट दिस ट्राइग्लिसराइड व्हेन एक्सेस में वो आता है तो वो एक लाइपोप्रोटीन में से जाता है. एंड दिस VLDL नाउ बिकम्स, आफ्टर इट गिव्स द कार्बो टू द सेल्स यूज के लिए, मतलब उसमें ट्राइग्लिसराइड्स देगा, इट बिकम्स मच मोर हायर इन डेंसिटी, तो उसको बोलते हैं LDL. उसके बीच में भी रहता है IDL, इंटरमीडिएट डेंसिटी, low density. Then you have the high density.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say with all this ज्ञान is that जो LDL है वो कोलेस्ट्रॉल है ही नहीं, वो कोलेस्ट्रॉल कैरियर है. And when LDL levels are high, and जो भी हमने रिसर्च देखा है, जो ऑडियंस जो भी डेमोग्राफिक है, it is, we don't know they are healthy or not healthy, it's just a mean average. Some people can have more LDL cholesterol than a normal person because their body requires it. मतलब जब भी कोलेस्ट्रॉल लेवल्स बढ़ जाते हैं, इट्स अ हीलिंग कंपाउंड, राइट, एज वी स्पोक अबाउट. सो हीलिंग जब भी चाहिए बॉडी को, तभी LDL ऊपर जाता है, एंड इट इज अ ओके थिंग, इट इज नॉट अ बैड थिंग. बट with the answer keys,
no, but there's a ratio also, HDL by LDL, so that ratio also matters.
So again, all these things we can talk about. Main thing to track is triglycerides. LDL, when we say LDL is good or bad, LDL is not bad. Again, LDL can get mixed with the wrong crowd. That is something called as LDL going bad because of glycation and oxidation. So इसमें जब हम बोलते हैं, तो आंसर कीज मैंने नाम लिया था, उस पर बाद में आएंगे. पर जो glycation is the fat, the protein getting going bad because of the
High carbs,
glycation.
Yeah.
Right, so it becomes sticky. And the ApoB, lipoprotein में ApoB करके रहता है molecule. So वो it's like a ID card. तो तुम ऑफिस में जाते हो तो तुम टैप करते हो, then only you get access. So to go back to the liver, you need that ID card. It's a lock and key mechanism. So it gets damaged. Similarly, oxidation also does the same. Oxidation होता है जब भी तुम seed oils और omega 6, omega 9 ज़्यादा कंज्यूम करते हो. Polyunsaturated, monounsaturated is not a problem, but polyunsaturated which will rancid easily. So that is the thing. Glycation, oxidation, ये दोनों चीज़ों की वजह से अगर LDL high है और you are eating high carbs and you are also eating seed oils in high quantities, that means that your LDL is really bad. But that does not mean LDL is bad. It's the context. So ये जो चीजें
no, so I guess, but the study that I was quoting, even in that, the triglycerides also got low over a period of time. As far as I know, these are the three parameters: HDL, LDL, and
कम करोगे,
triglycerides.
so you are eating less. So obviously हो सकता
But
है.
you're eating shit food.
Yeah, you are eating shit food, so it might not last long term because you are not getting the nutrients. Oreo में incomplete protein भी कितना मिलेगा, right? You are not getting fats
Yes.
to make right hormones, right? B3 levels low हो जाएंगे, cholesterol levels low हो जाएंगे.
So, but coming to what we talked about, like how do we get the general population fit? I just want to say this: once you put into your head that a normal client of yours must weigh around 75-80 kg. So let's say he weighs 80 kg, and once you put it in their head that you need for an 80 kg guy, because of course you will need to work out also, right? You will need to build muscle so that you're metabolically healthy as well, right? And everything is on point. Muscles we needed to protect the joints, longevity के लिए. So if he works out, he wants to build muscles for an 80 kg guy. You need 18 to 2.2. Let's be honest, you need around 180 to 185 grams of protein. Right. So once you put it into their head that you need 180 grams of protein.
Like 1.6 grams of protein per body.
Yeah, I would take 1.6 is by the American guidelines.
Yeah.
Yes, but like we in gym or fitness, we take 2.2. Let's say because 1
Let's
pound per
take
kg has been going on for quite a while.
अभी
1
तो
pound per kg.
like I'll tell you 1.6 भी कोई नहीं लेता है.
Yeah.
उतना लेंगे तो भी मोटा
Exactly. So what my whole point being, if you अगर आप किसी के दिमाग में ऐसे डाल दो कि भाई देख तू इतनी कैलोरीज लेगा तो तेरे को जो है ना मतलब तेरे को इतना प्रोटीन लेना ही है, तुझे 180 ग्राम प्रोटीन खाना है, वो बंदा प्रोटीन खाने में उसका पूरा दिन निकल जाएगा 180 ग्राम, बिकॉज लोगों को पता नहीं कि 180 ग्राम प्रोटीन कितना कितना हाँ कितना बड़ा एक नंबर होता है जो आधे लोग पूरा ही नहीं कर पाएंगे, और वो उस प्रोसेस में ही हेल्दी हो जाएगा इवन विदाउट वरिंग कि मेरे को कीटोजेनिक डाइट पर रहना है या मुझे कार्ब्स कट करने हैं।
That's why
क्योंकि प्योर 180 ग्राम प्रोटीन, अगर मैं नॉन वेजिटेरियन में बताता हूँ, लेट्स सम इट अप, एक 180 ग्राम का एग्जांपल दे देता हूँ कि 180 ग्राम प्रोटीन कैसे होगा। इट वुड टेक लेट्स से 250 ग्राम्स ऑफ चिकन ब्रेस्ट, ठीक है, उसके अंदर लगभग आपको 100 ग्राम प्रोटीन मिलेगा, ठीक है, एक 30 ग्राम होता है 100 ग्राम में, सो अराउंड लेट्स से 300 ग्राम प्रोटीन में यू गेट अराउंड 90 ग्राम, लेट्स काउंट इट टू 100, तो 300 ग्राम प्रोटीन, तो 150 का 2 सर्विंग, 300 ग्राम चिकन रोज खाओ तब जाके आप 100 हुआ, आपने उसके बाद 2 अंडे खा लिए, 2 से ज्यादा 2 खाते क्योंकि लोगों को भी है कि उसमें फैट ज्यादा है, ठीक है 2 खा लिए, 2 खा लिए तो भी 14, अब जाके 114 हुआ, ठीक है, अभी 180 तक पहुंचना है, उसके बाद आपने इसको वे डाल दिया, वे प्रोटीन को भी लेके बहुत लोगों को वो है, पर ठीक है 115 और 25 करके आपने 140 डाल दिया, अभी भी 180 नहीं हुआ, और 40 के लिए आपने उसके बाद उसमें फिश ऐड करनी है, ठीक है, क्योंकि अच्छे सोर्सेज तो वे चिकन फिश यही लीन सोर्सेज जो है ना एग्स, ये 4 ही लीन और अच्छे सोर्सेज है।
Even when I talk about it,
अब मुझे बताओ ना, अभी हम लोग 140 तक पहुंचे, 180 के 180 और 40 पे कहाँ से ऐड करेगा बंदा?
so main thing है फैटी प्रोटीन से नहीं डरना है।
हाँ,
मैं ये चीज बोल रहा हूँ, so एग से डरते हैं।
अच्छा,
so
तो
I
एक
would
जैसे
add
4
more eggs,
yeah
5 eggs in a day।
5 eggs in a day, ठीक है 5 whole eggs, so that's what I'm telling you, अब बंदा 5 अंडे खाएगा दिन में, 300 ग्राम चिकन खाएगा,
हाँ।
ठीक है, उसके बाद फिर वे का एक स्कूप ले लिया उसने, आप मुझे बताओ ना, और वो वर्कआउट भी कर रहा है, टाइम वहां पे भी दे रहा है, सो भी रहा है, 8 घंटे 10 घंटे की नींद भी निकाल रहा है, ये खाने में उसका पूरा दिन निकल जाएगा, तो वो डेफिनेशन में भी आ जाएगा, मस्कुलर भी हो जाएगा, हेल्दी भी हो जाएगा। मेरा कहने का मतलब है कि लोगों को सिर्फ इस चीज पर ध्यान देना चाहिए कि मेरे को मेरा प्रोटीन गोल पूरा कर लूं, मैं 200 ग्राम 180 ग्राम प्रोटीन गोल पूरा कर लूं, अगर आधे लोग वही पूरा कर लेना, फिट हो जाएंगे, वेट लूज हो जाएगा, मसल मास आ जाएगा, सब कुछ हो जाएगा, और चिंता करने की जरूरत ही नहीं कैलोरीज की या इन सारी चीजों की, क्योंकि इसके साथ इतने सारी चीजों के साथ रोज रोज खाना है ना वो भी, ऐसा तो नहीं कि आज मैंने 180 ग्राम प्रोटीन खा लिया तो अब मेरे 3 दिन की छुट्टी।
so मेरा कहना ये है कि ना लोग फैट से बहुत डर रहे हैं, नंबर 1 थिंग विच इज अगेन डरना चाहिए अगर वो रॉन्ग काइंड ऑफ फैट हो, ये एजुकेशन नहीं है। सो इवन मैंने जैसे बोला मैं कैलोरीज नहीं गिनने बोलता, और ऊपर से मैं ये भी नहीं बोलता कि कीटो है, उनको बताना ही नहीं है कि क्या है, बिकॉज सम पीपल कम तो आप तो कीटो डाइट दे दो ना, जो कि मैं नहीं देता। लाइक मेरे डाइट में जवान का रोटी भी होगा, इट इज कार्ब्स इज देयर, कार्ब्स कभी कभी यू हैव लो कार्ब्स बट कभी कभी यू हैव मोर कार्ब्स, बट यू आर मेंटेनिंग द स्टेट ऑफ कीटोसिस by doing fasting or skipping a meal, so you are doing that essentially। और क्या खा रहे हो, more of protein, fatty protein। so nature में जब भी तुम प्रोटीन ढूंढोगे वो fatty protein रहेगा। so eggs 1:1 ratio। चिकन में भी ब्रेस्ट कैसा है कि you remove the breast properly and फिर बाद में you have it, उसकी जगह पे something like fatty portion, drumsticks, ये सारी चीजें।
बाहर लोग with skin खाते हैं, how do you feel about that? Chicken with skin?
Yeah, that is good। Vitamin E, all the benefits of the skin। Again, see the quality of the chicken matters। अभी अपने इधर मैं तो जहाँ से लेता हूँ वहाँ तो चिकन वो मरा हुआ ही रहता है ऑलमोस्ट, फिर उसको काट के एट द एंड ऑफ द डे इट्स नॉट द बेस्ट क्वालिटी। सो I try not to eat a lot of chicken। So my main
have you had chicken with skin?
yeah, सही लगता है।
अच्छा
हाँ, so मैं सिंगापुर
Well, I follow Eddie Abu, तो कई लोग जो मेरे को Instagram पे follow करते हैं उन्हें पता है, he gives this keto motivation a lot। He blew up based on like you just need 2-3 meals of high fat, high protein।
That is what I was doing।
And yeah, and you'll get ripped। And
so
he's pretty shredded at 59-60 healthy। But he used to say कि chicken with skin,
so
beef liver।
जी, the only thing is that अभी मैं shredded नहीं हूँ, तो मेरी बातों पे भरोसा करना थोड़ा हार्ड है लोगों के लिए, बट वंस द टाइम विल कम, क्योंकि मैंने बोला अभी मैंने 4 kg ऑफ फैट लूज किया है ये महीने भर में, एंड इट वाज फैट मेजर किया मैंने, एंड आई एम वर्किंग आउट, आई एम प्लेइंग, एंड प्लस द डाइट इज ऑन पॉइंट। आज भी मैंने आई डिड नॉट ईट कार्ब्स, in front of your घर पे से
But मैं जितना देख पा रहा हूँ the time में you're in a deficit only. I did not see you eating a whole lot of food.
Yeah.
That is also true.
Yeah.
Cheese भी you had like 1 cube only.
हाँ.
Like ऐसा नहीं था कि you snacked on cheese cubes.
क्योंकि उसके ऊपर भूख ही नहीं लगेगी ना. After a point, see when you are very addicted to carbs, you will tend to eat a lot because you will want to have that mouth feel. But थोड़े टाइम बाद है ना वो चला जाता है तो भूख नहीं लगता. तो देरा मैं मकर संक्रांति का दिन था ना, मैंने उस दिन है ना पूरन पोली खाया. मैंने पूरन पोली खाया बट मैंने पूरा दिन फास्ट किया था. कल रात को 10 बजे और फिर बाद में 10 बजे के अराउंड मैंने खाया.
हाँ पर ये बात आपने सही.
That is what happened. मैं काम में बिजी था इसके लिए मुझे भूख नहीं लगी. एंड सिमिलरली जो मेरा 200 ग्राम जिस दिन मैं खाता हूँ प्रोटीन नॉर्मली होता है, सो मैं उसमें 1 या 2 मील लेता हूँ. कभी कभी 1 मील लेता हूँ तो प्रोटीन कम जाता है, सो डेफिसिट में हो जाता हूँ. कभी कभी 2 मील लेता हूँ, कभी कभी 3 मील लेता हूँ. इट इज़ ऑल डिपेंडेंट ऑन हाउ मच हंगरी आई एम. तो मैं खाता हूँ तो खाना चालू रुकता नहीं, बट पेट भरने के बाद हाँ अभी भूख नहीं.
तो बट मेरे को वो चीज़ सही लगी, लाइक यू नो मिड ऑफ द पॉडकास्ट व्हेन आई वुड मेंशन इट कि वेयर यू सेड कि आई सेड कि कार्ब्स पंप वगैरह के इन चीज़ों के लिए चाहिए, and you debated it by saying you know once your body gets better adapted. So that is actually true. जब मैं ketosis कर रहा था तो I remember not in a deficit but I used to have ample amount of fats and ample amount of like I remember I told you I snacked on a lot of dry fruits like walnuts and almonds one day evening late night snacking, a lot of it like 700-800 calories. I surpassed the calories thing, but the next day and I am still on keto. The next day pump was insane. I had a good workout. The pump was insane. I was looking bigger. And I would be honest, I told my coach that, and he's like, it's the extra calories. But yes, you are right. Once your body gets fat adapted,
मैं तो फुटबॉल खेलता हूँ यार. मतलब I play whatever level I play football and I put effort. तो मैं तो कीटो पे हूँ, मुझे तो आइडियली 0 कार्ब्स पे हूँ समझो, तो मैं नहीं करना चाहिए था मुझे. But still I run as fast as the fit guys. थोड़ा सा स्लो रहूँगा, but I put on with them. मतलब उनके लेवल पे ही खेल रहा हूँ मैं. I try to, and I'm able to do that even with this approach. So yeah, that's.
क्योंकि फुटबॉल में तो बोलते हैं कि you need more carbs because it's an endurance game. I remember footballers, I know a footballer 1 or 2 like good dates वगैरह and they load a lot of carbs pre-match.
So this carbohydrates paradox, it all starts with this scientist called as Professor Tim Noakes. तो इसी ने जो जेल आता है ना कार्ब जेल, कार्बो लोडिंग, कार्बोहाइड्रेट लोडिंग, ये इसी ने फेमस किया. और यही बंदा आके बाद में बोला, ही इज ओल्ड नाउ, उसने बोला कि आई वाज रॉन्ग, यू कैन आल्सो सस्टेन अ गुड परफॉर्मेंस ऑन हाई फैट डाइट्स. एंड इसके पीछे देयर आर रिसर्चर्स, आई विल पॉइंट टेक नेम्स लाइक जेफ पॉलिक and then Dr. Stephen Finney. These are 2 researchers who have been doing studies on this ketogenic keto adaptation भी उन्होंने term coin किया. So the thing is, both carbs and fats, both of them you can get performance on and live your life on. But it's just that if you are, देखो एक ही चीज होगा, एक तो carbs खा सकते हो ज़्यादा और फिर fat खा सकते हो ज़्यादा. दोनों खाओगे तो सब गड़बड़ हो जाएगा. Fats are important, but when you eat more fats, you get into a state of keto adaptation or fat adaptation. It takes generally months. अभी मैं anecdotes बताऊँ तो Shane Watson, when he started to lose his weight, जब वो fit हुआ, पहले बहुत fat था, so उसको लाया डॉक्टर डेविड पलमटर करके एक स्पोर्ट्स मेडिसिन डॉक्टर है for the Australian cricket team. He got him on this approach, and then he lost fat, and then mostly सब उसके फ्रेंड्स जो भी वॉटसन के फ्रेंड्स सब लोग खाना चालू किए वैसे. इवन देन ही रिकमेंडेड एज अ हेड कोच टू लिवरपूल, उसने इसका नाम सजेस्ट किया, यर्गन क्लॉप. सो लिवरपूल जब भी टाइटल जीता चैंपियंस लीग का, तभी दे वर ऑन अ कीटोजेनिक लाइफस्टाइल. इवन स्टिल दे आर राइट, बट तभी तो थे. इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि वो कीटो किया या फिर फैट प्रोटीन खाया इसके लिए वो जीत गया. बट आई एम जस्ट सेइंग दैट इट इज पॉसिबल. And when a person comes to you as a client कि वो हारा हुआ है, उसको तुम एक लाइट दिखा सकते हो जिसमें उसको टेंशन नहीं है. अरे मैं अगर बोल रहा हूँ बटर चिकन खाना है, राइट, जवार रोटी खा सकते हो, बटर चिकन खाना है, सिर्फ राइस मत खाओ, पेट भर के खाओ, बटर चिकन, चीज़ खाओ, एग्स खाओ, सारे अच्छी तो चीज़ें बोल रहा हूँ which anyone would like. So that is the lens I'm trying to asking you to view this as, rather than a keto.
So So it was good, bro. This podcast and really loved it.
Oh
And,
yeah,
hey, I drank a lot of water, so the
Yeah.
bladder is full anyways. So
Okay.
you know,
So you want to go and come back? We can just थोड़ा और बात करते हैं फिर.
actually, bro, I'm down on energy as well. I'm on my episode right now. For prepping for a competition.
So what we can do is we will end this. We will make some content. First of all, thanks for hosting me. Thanks for giving
Thanks,
me
man.
good food.
Yes, yes. It
मजा
was
आया.
food was good, but then I personally view you as someone who's got knowledge, man. You're quite young. You're younger than me. I guess your audience knows your age.
25.
You're 25. You're just 25, and you're doing the hustle. You have an agency, so it's a good thing, man. It's a really inspiration for that.
I am trying to get back in shape. I will get back. It
Well,
just
you'll get it back in shape. You have a solid foundation. I can
Yeah.
see that. Sure, bro. See you.
Sure. Whoop.
Whoop.
Whoop का क्यों हम लोगों ने ऐड किया लास्ट में?